Talking about Bobby Cox, the fourth-time Manager of the Year. We welcome in a Manager of the Year as well, Joe Maddon, who's with us every week. Joe, it's Brian Kenny. Thanks for joining us again today.
Good to see you, buddy.
Your thoughts, again, this is a guy who's at the pinnacle of your profession, all-time great manager, Bobby Cox. Your thoughts on Bobby?
Yeah, really what stands out to me about Bobby, I knew him a little bit, not a lot, but everybody I'd spoken with, former players that eventually played for me, there was no eyewash with this guy. It was just straightforward stuff. As an example, there was a BP time, say it was 4:45. There was no pre-stretch. Guys would just show up on the field at 4:45 and start taking batting practice. He promoted personal accountability. He was a fellow when authenticity and experience mattered, and he really brought it to the forefront. Just listen to the players and all the accolades coming forward since he has passed, and that just says everything. So I didn't know him really well, but I thought he promoted personal accountability, and I love that.
You know, Joe, it's funny how many guys I hear, like even from Buck Showalter, that came from the Billy Martin school. I don't know if he was exactly right, but he came up through the Yankee system, then was a first base coach under Billy Martin. Is that kind of where it's at? Do you have different schools of thought, or are there just different kind of super mentors out there that lead the way in baseball?
There were super mentors, that's for sure, but there definitely is a method involved. Just the way the game is to be played properly. Fundamentally, a fundamentalist. I consider myself a fundamentalist also because I had some of those super mentors myself. I mean, I'm sure those previous coaches, managers that he had called him while he was in Atlanta on occasion. He stayed in touch with them. And it's really crazy. You hear their voices. I hear Bob Clear's voice in the back of my head right now. It's at different times doing a game because Bob Alou was one of my greatest mentors as a young coach and a manager. So you hear those voices. You replay Don Zimmer because when I tried that bunt, safety squeeze with Javi with a full count in Cleveland in Game 7, that was Zim speaking to me right there. You carry these voices and these people with you, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, we even mentioned Walt Weiss, from Brian Snicker. We're going to have Brian on later. From Bobby Cox. Like, there's a lineage throughout. And it matters, right? Little things matter a lot when at the upper echelon. I wanted to ask you about this, Joe, because I saw this. I was out last week, and I'm just, reading The Athletic, and you wrote an article in The Athletic, the best leaders, the 3 best leaders I managed in Major League Baseball. Number 1, Cliff Floyd, who played for you, your pennant-winning team, 2008 Rays, then David Ross, then Jason Hayward. Cliff Floyd, tell us about that, Joe.
Yes, he's sitting right there, I believe. Hi, Cliff.
What's up, Skip?
He's blushing. Joe, he's blushing so bad right now.
This was not planned, and this was not planned. We want to get up front with that. The thing about Cliff that I remembered most distinctly, 2008 with the Rays. Come on, the Rays are pretty good right now. We weren't back then. I thought Cliff brought both physical and intellectual presence to our locker room immediately. When he walks in, you could see the man right there. He's just like one of his line drives. But the intellectual presence was something that I really did appreciate. He's the kind of guy that walks in, he's going to get himself ready. He knows what it takes for that, but he's always going to check in with everybody else there. And he knew the kind of help that we needed. He'd come into my office once in a while. We'd have wonderful conversations. And I love the curiosity about what we were doing and why, but also his take on different players at that particular time. And we had some young guys on that team. So he was probably more concerned with the group that needed help as opposed to himself. And the last point I want to make is that leadership is taken, it's not given. I think that's a misconception. You could appoint leaders, but that doesn't necessarily mean people are going to follow them. Cliff kind of took it just by showing up, being himself, and how he presented to the rest of that group. That was such a big moment in the ascension of the Devil Rays to the Rays and what they're like today. And Cliff was at the forefront of that, I thought.
Go ahead, Cliff. I mean, you had to be humbled a little. I know you're humbled, Cliff, but that's quite an honor.
I mean, it's a great honor, and coming from a great man. So, Skip, I appreciate you, man. And I think it started in the spring training. We had the open door policy where it was just calm, cool, and collect, and we was trying to get the tempo of this room. I mean, the year before that, I wasn't there, but you was 30 games under 500. And we knew the talent was there, but we was like, how the heck was we going to get it out? And how we going to maximize these dudes? And it was just fun to come in the office and sit there and have some grown folk conversations, and chill with you, man.
That's what you're talking about, right? Because the thing that people don't understand sometimes, you need grown-ups in the room. I mean, I love young baseball players, love young athletes in general, but there's got to be some grown-ups to keep them in their place or answer difficult questions. The manager should not be in that room very often, if at all, maybe a meeting once in a while. So when you got the veteran within that room that could really deal with conversationally and point out different things to this group of young players, makes all the difference in the world, and you spearheaded that.
Oh, Joe, that was nice.
Hey, BK, real quick. It was true because I remember we had a moment in Cleveland, and BJ at the time, Skip, didn't run out to first base. And you was like, go handle that. And I was like, I got you. I got you.
I didn't know Joe, too. And Cliff, thanks. Cliff was embarrassed. He didn't want to do that, by the way. We had to drag about.
Beautiful.
And,
Beautiful man.
Joe, I'll just say, Cliff has feel. Right? This time, I called a game with Cliff Floyd and Sarah Langs. I never had a better time seeing the game from the perspective of the two of them together, melding like really baseball theory. Is great feel, and I knew exactly what you meant, but I thought, wow, that's really nice. Anyway, I want to ask you a few other things here. Framber Valdez, right, hits Trevor Story after he's given up some runs, hits him. A.J. Hinch, his manager, didn't exactly defend him. Said hey, we play a good brand of baseball. That didn't feel like it. You go out on the field, usually you want to be in the right. It didn't feel good being out there. What about that? Clearly he didn't dig what his own guy did.
Don't you love when people tell the truth? He did not dissemble whatsoever, AJ. I mean, that's just what happened right there. That really screamed at the rest of his ball club. It screamed at the entire organization in a good way. When you do that, it disarms the situation almost immediately. When I was with the Cubbies, we had some issues with a certain team, and I thought they were trying to, start some things. And my line at that time was, well, we're not going to start stuff, but we'll end stuff. So there's a difference with that, too. So when a team, you don't want to be the team that starts something. I never wanted us to be that group. So that's it. And when I read that, AJ is very intentional. He knows exactly what he's talking about all the time. And Framber needed to hear that. I don't know the kid. I know we had the issue last year when crossing up the catcher intentionally. So that's kind of like a consistent level of not really good behavior on a major league level. So hopefully this is going to get him back in line. If that really sinks in well with Framber and among the team, that could really help jettison them into the future.
You know what? Now I wanted to do this too. Follow this. Garrett Cole in the minors, right? High A ball. Guy hits a home run off him, right? The next time he sees him, he drills. So there's a home run. Next time he sees this guy, he's pitching for the Hudson Valley Renegades. This guy makes $36 million a year, and he hits the guy. I mean, come on. Joe, what about that?
Yeah, I'm not into that so much, but is there any kind of context to this? Any other layers? Did the kid pimp the home run the first time through whatever?
I did not see him dancing. I don't know.
Yeah, if it was just purely because he had a home run, that's really poor form, I believe. If something else occurred, maybe.
I doubt the guy is moonwalking, hitting a home run in the minors off Garrett Cole, right? I doubt. I didn't see. I'd have to look, but we'll look.
It doesn't play well. It doesn't play well in Hudson Valley nor New York City. Right. So I'd like to know more about it. It just seems it's incongruent. It should not happen. It should not happen.
I lived in the Hudson Valley. It's beautiful. And no, they're not down with that. Exactly.
Right,
All right. Tony Vitello of the Giants, right? New manager, had this confusion. Didn't signal whether he wanted a right-handed reliever or a lefty. O'Neal Cruz was coming up. You figure you want a lefty. But his own bullpen is like, who, Skip? Who? So what's your read on the whole situation? I don't know if it looked better in real time than it did on the tape. I'm watching it on tape. It doesn't look good. What's your read?
Yeah, I mean, there's times when there is a little confusion like that. It actually happened to me in New York City one time going out to take out, I can't remember who, but I was wanting Randy Choate, and we're sending in Balfour, and he gets to the mound, and wow, what are you doing here? And the next pitch, Granderson hits a ball in the upper deck. So, I mean, I don't want to lend too much I don't want to put too much wind behind these sails right now because Tony's from college, whatever. That's a bad communique. That's a bad moment. It looks horrible. Not as horrible as it looked. Who knows if somebody called down from the dugout first to the bullpen to indicate who's coming in or not. That's what happened to me. So I'm not going to give this a whole lot of anything except I'm betting it'll never happen again.
Okay. Now, well done by you. I agree with you. Right? The big thing can be made of it. But Tony La Russa, it happened to him. He wanted one guy, got Jason Mott. Remember that?
Right.
Or, Ozzie Guillen, no, give me Jenks. Do you want the tall guy? Do you want the wide guy?
Or the fat guy, right?
We don't say fat anymore, Joe. Why?
No, I know. But it's truth. Like I said, don't you love the truth? I just said that a couple minutes ago.
That was good. Joe, great having you on the show once again. We'll talk to you next week. Thank you.